So, this guy here is my crappie killer. Notice the bead eyes and pretty much a woolly bugger. But it catches fish. You wouldn't believe it. So, alright, I've got a Daiichi 2220 size 8 streamer hook. It's 4x long. Any sort of streamer hook's gonna work, but the smaller the better, especially if you're trying to go for panfish and crappie, although a lot of other fish will take this. Like some of the other videos I posted this week, man, I caught a carp, I was catching lots of bass, caught a trout. Everyone likes this fly, so put a couple in your box. It'll pay off in the end. So we're just going to start off by weighting this fly. You don't want to go all the way up to the bend. You want to leave room for you to tie in those bead chain eyes, but you want to give this plenty of weight so it'll get down to the fish. So this is pretty good. I'm gonna just break it off there and then start with some thread. I'm just using a white thread, ultra thread. Whenever I let in my hook and give it some weight, I like to leave my tag around and fold the tag back over, give myself a little bit better traction when working over this lead. Sometimes you can just spin on the lead and not really go anywhere. So it's better than just clipping that out and not having anything. I think this helps secure everything from twisting. Because the last thing you want is to set it all up with some glue or some finish, and then your bottom part twists out on you, and it just ruins the finish. It cracks it and doesn't hold true. So now that I've have a couple of passes over my lead, it's feeling strong. It doesn't really want to move on me. I'm going to take my pliers and bead chain. This comes on all kinds of things, lampshades, little dog tag necklaces, lots of fans, or the hardware store for the fans, ceiling fans, ceiling lights will have these chains. And I'm just going to take 2 of them and clip them away from the rest. So now I've got a little set, and I'm going to just give myself a little bump as a backstop. Right about where I want them. And I'm going to do one pass and go around the hook so they're snugged in there, and I'll just do 2, 3, 4, 5 more passes. You can do as many as you would like, but we're going to go opposite then and do 5 or 6 passes the opposite way. Just adjust them how you would like them. With each pass, you put a little more tension, and it will rotate these ever so slightly, so you'll eventually get them even. But to really secure them and get them down snug, always cover the hook shank in between passes. So I did about 5 up, 5 down. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6, but We'll go the opposite way now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're just going to come back all the way over our lead and give the whole fly some strength. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go all the way back down again. I'm going to stop here and just check. This is pretty tense. I can wiggle it a little bit, but so I will do one more pass. It still wiggles. I typically stop doing this when I start to spin my whole vise, because I am on a rotary vise. And if you don't have one yet, you should probably go get one, because they make life pretty easy, pretty simple. There we go. I mean, it's tough to do it on this small of eyes and this small of a hook, but it is twisting the whole vise now. That's what I mean by building strength into it. I mean, it's important that they don't shift up or down or anything, but you want to really have these guys in here strong. And I'm going to just do one more for good measure. Maybe it's overkill. I don't know that I really care. But that feels real strong to me. All right. So now we need to put a marabou tail in. But first, I'll put the copper wire on. So we can put that right up against the eye. Just so there's a little extra strength here, a little extra weight with the wire. I'm going to use some white marabou, but not a ton, just a little pinch of it. Maybe more than that. I'll stack some more with it. All right. Now with the tail in, we are going to grab our chenille. This is a bit of a pearl white. Must have been tying a bee with this last because there was a little bit of yellow Sharpie on it, so I just stripped that away. Good and in there, so I'm just going to cut away the excess string from the chenille and wrap this all the way up. Now, I'm just going to twist this chenille forward. Careful not to get it twisted around your bobbin. Alright, that's probably good. Give it 3 wraps with your thread. Trim away and do a few more tighter wraps just to make sure you're all snug down. That's pretty good. Alright, we're going to pick out a hackle feather, and I like it when they're loose like this, not all tight together like apart from the body. I'll strip away a bit of it, trim that out. Now we're ready to tie this in. Pull that quill back, snug it in there, trim the rest away. So we want to go the same direction as we did with the chenille, so it just sort of follows the same groove and continues in the same sort of track. It should have set it up pretty nicely. You can always pinch the fly to hold the feather in place. You don't have to grab the feather. Sometimes just pinching it down is enough to keep it in place. So now you're going to want to counter wrap with your copper material. So can notice once the copper hugs the wire and holds that down for you, you don't need to hold the feather anymore. Just need to wiggle this through, trying to keep as many fibers tall and free as possible. You don't want to capture them and bend them over with this copper wire. Alright, now that we're up at the head, I'm going to just pull it straight. Sweep these back just a little bit and just capture that wire with as many tight wraps as possible. I'm going to choke this wire up a little bit just because it's kind of in the way. And the dog got a hold of it, so it's extra grippy with chew marks, but that's okay. It's really nice to have these bead chain eyes, and to just, as long as you're on the one side of them, you know you're in the clear. And you're just going to helicopter with a little bit of pressure. Copper wire until it breaks free. There we go. Always just push that tip. Came out back in a little bit. Give yourself a sweep of any hackles because you want them behind these eyes as much as possible. And clean it up. Go in front of the eyes. I don't have any tools by me. That's okay, we'll just do the half hitch, which is just a circle around. I'll just anchor it on the back side of the eyes. Make it easy enough. Trim away and super glue it tight. So, but before I add the super glue, I'm just going to visually inspect everything and show it off a little bit. Let me know what you think. Let me know what kind of fish you're catching in the comments below, and maybe I'll send you out a fly.